Hello lovely people, welcome back to my channel. My name is Maya. If you've never been here before, welcome. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below. Today we're going to be doing my October wrap up and my November TBR. The month of October was a bit of a fail. I was trying to escape the haunted house for a spoopathon and I just didn't succeed. I am trapped in the house. I am dead. The ghost got me. So I will tell you a bit about my reading for October and then we'll jump into my November TBR. So, the first book that I attempted to read for Spoopathon and for the month of October was All's Well by Mona Awad, and the plan was for this to fulfill the first two prompts of the house, Gifted to You and Fall Cover. So yeah, I had really high hopes for this book. It's about a woman who deals with chronic pain and she really wants to put on All's Well in the college theater program that she teaches, but her students are kind of creating a mutiny and want to do Macbeth. That's as far as I got. I just really couldn't get through this book. There is a lot of obviously like chronic illness rep and disability rep in here, but I just could not get through the characters' emotion and pessimism towards life, and I felt like I was like trying to fight through quicksand to get anywhere in this book that I would actually enjoy the plot. So I ended up DNFing this book. I really am disappointed. I haven't read Bunny by the same author and I'm tempted, but now I don't know because I don't trust the world of Mona Awad. So didn't enjoy this, so I DNF'd it. Then I tried to fulfill the same prompt by reading Nick by Michael Ferris Smith. It was gifted to me. You can't see, I don't know what I did with the dust jacket, but it is fall colors, so I thought that it would work. And again, I also DNF'd this one, although I don't know that I permanently DNF'd it because I would like to read it sometime, but it was just so incredibly boring and dragged on like crazy. This is a Great Gatsby retelling, sort of. It's the prequel to The Great Gatsby, and it talks about Nick Carraway's life during the war, and The Great Gatsby is my favorite book that I've ever read, but I just really never... The trees are shining light on my face. I just never really felt ever like I was actually reading a book that F. Scott Fitzgerald wrote. I did not think that Michael Ferris Smith did a good job of emulating the Nick Carraway character, and I ended up having to give up a few chapters in. So because of that, not being able to finish any books for that prompt, it definitely threw off my normal reading schedule, and so I got stuck in the haunted house. So the next book that I read was The Spanish Love Deception, and I read this to fulfill the prompt new genre because I never read romance, much less like straight romance. And also the Spice Up Your 20s book club was reading that book. So I decided to go for it, and this was a 5-star read for me. I absolutely loved this book. It is on my Kindle. That's why I'm not holding it up right now, but the premise of The Spanish Love Deception is our main character, her sister is getting married in Spain, and her ex-boyfriend is engaged and is bringing his fiancé to the wedding. So she lies and tells her parents that she has a boyfriend to also bring to the wedding, but in reality she does not. So the handsome yet annoying man that she works with offers to go with her. They don't really get along, so definitely enemies to lovers and fake dating. I love fake dating, so I was super excited for that. I never wanted to put the book down. It read super fast. You can see more of my review of it in the I'll link the vlog where I finished reading it. But I loved it 5 stars, would recommend, really, really enjoyed it. So that got us through new genre, and then the next prompt was trick or treat. So I put a poll up on my Instagram to choose between inheritance games and the beautiful ones. So the beautiful ones was the first Not Wasting My 20s book club pick of the month, and then the inheritance games was the other book. So the inheritance games was my treat, the beautiful ones was my trick, and everyone voted for my treat. So I got to read the inheritance games, which I had been looking forward to reading for a long time, and it did not disappoint. Another 5-star read. So even though I only finished 2 books this month, spoiler alert, both of them were 5-star reads. So I mean, like, that's good, but it wasn't like ideal. So this book is about a girl, Avery, who gets a letter basically saying that she has inherited a billionaire's fortune, but she's never met him. She doesn't know who he is. She doesn't know his family, and she has to live in the mansion with the rest of his family, who thinks that they should be the heirs to the throne for basically a certain amount of time in order to actually get the inheritance. So they start to discover that maybe it's actually a riddle and there's a game involved. So anyway, it is very much Knives Out. I've talked about this a few times on my channel, but I really, really, really enjoyed this book. The sequel, The Hawthorne Legacy, is out, and I've ordered it from my local bookstore, so hopefully that'll be coming in soon. And I just can't wait to read the sequel. I loved this book, so I definitely recommend. And the last book on the last prompt was Read After Dark, and the book that I had chosen for that was Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, because this was the Not Wasting My 20s book club second read of October, and I just couldn't get into this. It didn't make me want to read, so I kept putting it off. I tried the audiobook. The audiobook didn't match up to the chapters in this book, so I thought I was like halfway through the book when I was only a quarter of the way through, and then I just gave up. So another book that I didn't finish. So I didn't escape the haunted house, but I did have 2 5-star reads, so it kind of balances out. But I'm sorry, Team Order of Spies, that I was not able to get us the points that we needed, and I think we actually maybe finished last. So don't be on my team for readathons is kind of what I'm learning, because I think my last team I was on finished last too. Anyway, on to November. So for November, I decided that I really wanted to do some reading for books that I wanted to read instead of for readathons or for TBRs. And my TBR game is still in development. I'm hopefully going to finish it today and get it sent off for printing. But because of that, I just decided to basically read whatever I want this month. There is a readathon happening, the Big 3 readathon, with the Rumi's Digest and Noelle 7 Pages. I'm not doing it, but if you are looking for one, it looks fun. So take a look at their video down below to determine if you want to participate. But the first book that I'm reading in the month of November and that I have actually already started is The Firekeeper's Daughter by Angeline Boulley. Just like look at how beautiful that dust jacket is. Unfortunately, like the hardcover book is just black, so I don't want to take the dust jacket off because it's so pretty, but I also hate reading and holding the dust jacket. So anyway, it is absolutely stunning. It is pretty thick. It's only, yeah, it's just under 500 pages, which normally would take me a long time to read. I actually have a couple of chunky books on the TBR, but I'm gonna try and get through this at the pace of the book club, so I'll finish it in a couple of weeks. The plot of this book is we follow Donis, and she is an Ojibwe girl. She was gonna go away to school, but some terrible things happened to her family, so she's decided to stay around with her best friend and just go to a nearby college. And she's kind of balancing her father's side of the family that she's kind of been like disinherited from, or yeah, like taken away from, and her mother's side. And her brother plays hockey on like the team, a really good team there, and she meets one of the new teammates, and she really starts to like him. But as the book says, so I don't spoil anything, even as Donis falls for Jamie, she senses the dashing hockey star is hiding something. Everything comes to light when Donis witnesses a shocking murder, thrusting her into an FBI investigation of a new lethal drug. Now, as the deceptions and deaths keep growing, Donis must learn what it means to be a strong Anishinaabe, Ojibwe woman, and how far she'll go for her community, even if it tears apart the only world she's ever known. So, this is so far really, really good. I really enjoy the balance between like educating about Indigenous culture and the other plot. I've learned so much about like the world and she's in Michigan and Ontario, so that area, and it's just super interesting to me so far, and I didn't see the twist that's happened so far coming. It blindsided me a little bit, but I'm really, really enjoying this book. I have not wanted to put it down, so definitely recommend so far. The next book on my TBR for the month of November is The Love Hypothesis by Ali Hazelwood. I just found out today that this is supposed to be a Raylo, like, fan fiction. I'm not sure how I feel about that, because I do not really like them together. Actually, I hate them together. But this is the Spicing Up Your 20s book club pick for the month, so this will be read at a later part of the month. But basically, as a third-year PhD candidate, Olive Smith doesn't believe in lasting romantic relationships, but her best friend does, and that's what got her into this situation. Convincing Anne that Olive is dating and well on her way to happily ever after, was always going to take more than a hand-wavy Jedi mind tricks. Scientists require proof, so like any self-respecting biologist, Olive panics and kisses the first man she sees. That man is none other than Adam Carlson, a young hotshot professor and well-known ass. Which is why Olive is positively floored when Stanford's reigning lab tyrant agrees to keep her charade a secret and be her fake boyfriend. So, another fake dating read, so that's exciting. I heard really good things about this one too. Again, though I'm not really sure how I feel about that it was originally fan fiction, but it also gives me hope as a fan fiction writer that someday people will read my bad fan fiction turn into a good novel. So, I'm intrigued by this. It's another thick one, 373 pages, but this will be towards the end of the month. And the last book that's on my TBR for the month of November, because I believe that my friend would kill me if it was not, is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. This is the second book of the Court of Thorns and Roses series that I read in September for Becca's Bookathon, and I enjoyed the first book so much that I told Danica to read the series, and then I couldn't fit this in my October TBR. Meanwhile, she read the entire series in 2 weeks, and she needs me to catch up. So this book is very intimidating to me because it is like 600 some pages, 69 chapters. So yeah, I'm a little concerned because just these two books alone are like more pages than I'd ever read in a month. But if I don't get through all of this in November, that's fine. I can keep going into December. But I do find these a quick read, so. Anyway, those are the books I'm reading in November, and that was the failed October wrap-up. Let me know in the comments down below what one of the books that you're reading for November is. And if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, comment down below. Follow me on all of my socials linked down below, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye!